Hello and welcome on the Digital Doers, the podcast for e-commerce leaders. Here is a special edition dedicated to the Lengow Day, an e-commerce event held in Paris the 1st of October 2019, bringing nearly 1,000 professionals of the industry. During the event, I recorded a short interview, about 15 minutes, of keynote speakers, Michael Forger for Lengow, Amy Venner from Pinterest, Ilya Chirikov from Joom, Laura Fauduc from Alibaba France, Thomas Métivier from Cdiscount, Ted Hettich from Fruugo, and Albert Simpson from Facebook. Good listening to you, always without cutting and editing. Hello, Ted. Thank you very much for coming on the Digital Doers.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you are the CSO at Fruugo.
Yep.
Could you introduce yourself in 2 words, please?
Yeah, so like you said, my name is Ted. I'm the Chief Sales Officer at Fruugo. I've been with Fruugo for around 4 years now, almost 5.
Okay.
And I joined back in 2015.
Okay.
Fruugo is a global marketplace currently working in 46 different territories.
Okay.
And what we do is we essentially allow sellers from all over the globe to sell products in those 46 different territories.
Okay. Before Fruugo, what did you do?
I have background in working in price comparison. So I worked for a company in Germany called Become Europe GmbH. It was a price comparison site out of Silicon Valley, one of the early price comparison sites that were before Google Shopping's time. And I was the UK country manager there. So I was working with UK sales from Germany and UK retailers and those UK partnerships looking to sell into Europe, essentially.
Okay, so you are not German.
No, I'm not. So ethnically, I am German, but Americans, everyone's mixed. But I'm originally from Los Angeles, California.
Mm-hmm.
I was born there, and I moved to Germany in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I've been in Karlsruhe, Stuttgart, and Ulm. So I've been primarily in the south in Baden-Württemberg.
Okay, and you travel a lot around.
I travel a lot, yeah. So I'm currently on the road about 50% of the time.
Yes.
And in between the UK, Germany, I have an apartment in the UK too, so I'm back and forth all the time.
Okay, so you are a big traveler. So you have a strong track record and experience on the digital stuff and with the price comparison sites.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you join Fruugo, and what is the added value of Fruugo for the customers?
It was a funny story, actually. I met the CEO of Fruugo by accident. So
by chance.
My boss actually couldn't make the meeting in London, Houston. It was at a train station, and I met the Fruugo CEO Dominic Allenby by chance. And he said, "Can you please go to Houston and cover this meeting for me?" So I covered the meeting for him, and got to know Fruugo, got to know the product, and it kind of planted a seed in my head. So for about 1.5 years, 2 years,
you were in Germany already.
I was in Germany at the time, but I traveled to the UK all the time. So probably about 1 year, 2 years later, I contacted Fruugo, seeing how they were doing. We were actually working on a potential partnership with our price comparison site. And then I just asked him, I was like, I really, really love what you guys have to offer. Can I come work for you? And he was like, yeah, yeah, that'd be great. So in 2015, I started as the global head of partnerships for Fruugo.
Okay.
And then I was working on retailer acquisition, partnerships with like ERP systems, different channel partners. And then because I have the price comparison background, a lot of different affiliates, affiliation schemes and stuff like that. And then I decided, okay, it's going really well. Fruugo had about 200 sellers, around 2 million SKUs at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started, really helped build the sales team up, build our SKU base up. And so now we're at 23 million SKUs with over 1,000 sellers.
Wow. Okay, I understand why you moved to Fruugo, and tell us a little bit more about Fruugo. When the story started,
Yeah, that's a bit of background on Fruugo. Fruugo has a very unique offering, and the thing that really impressed me is that Fruugo can take a product feed from a seller. Let's say they're based in the UK. All their products are in English and priced in pounds. Fruugo allows a seller to essentially, through one simple integration, use their native feed in their native language and sell those products in over 46 different territories. So Fruugo does the translations for free. We do the currency forex for free, and then we also translate customer service tickets for free too. So again, say that British seller sold the product in Norway. Norwegian shopper asks a question in Norwegian. We'll translate it into English for the shopper to answer in English, and then we'll translate it back to Norwegian.
Okay.
So we try to take out all the hurdles with selling cross-border. And that goes also for getting paid. We pay out our retailers in their home currency. And we also, so there's no need to set up like a foreign bank account or foreign entity registration or pay a third party. So it really takes out all the roadblocks to selling cross-border.
Okay. So I understand very well. Where are the main markets today for Fruugo?
So it's actually really surprising. So when I first started back in 2015, it was primarily because it's an English-based limited.
Yeah.
We were doing really well in like the UK, Australia, and the US. But today that's completely evolved, and now our number one market is Switzerland, actually.
Yes.
And number two is
Switzerland.
Switzerland, yeah.
Yeah, one of the smallest countries.
Yeah, it's our largest GTV market.
Okay.
Gross transaction value. And number two is Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And number three is now UK. So these Scandinavian territories, Denmark and Norway, for example, are all in our top 10, along with like the Netherlands, Ireland, and France and Germany.
And why the Nordics are so important for you? Is it because the competition in those countries are not so huge, and they need to
I think it has to do with the geography of the country,
yeah.
And the weather. A lot of products are bought online,
yes.
And a big plus is Amazon's not there yet, so in mass. So it's we do have a bit of an advantage there.
Okay, and what about the US? Because that's so.
It's big. A massive market for us. So it's still in our top 5.
Okay.
In terms of GTVs by country. The one thing that's fairly critical with selling into the U.S. is that basically every state has its own tax rate, essentially. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like working with 50 miniature countries. So what we're doing now is we're selling cross-border into the United States, mm-hmm. and we sell U.S. domestic sellers outside of the United States.
Okay.
But there's no domestic selling, so we don't have a U.S. domestic platform yet. But we're actually working on that now, and we need to work with a few parties for like tax liability to make sure that that's crystal clean before we get started.
Okay, and it's always difficult to ask this question, but who are your competitors?
So, like in the UK, we have competitors like Flubit or like OnBuy, and smaller competitors. Naturally, there's the giants like eBay and Amazon.
Yeah.
But I'd say like smaller ones would probably be like a Zalando or a Newegg or those like kind of medium level marketplaces. Okay,
and what is your USP compared to those competitors?
Yeah, so the core USP is the cross-border element.
Yeah.
I think the biggest, one of the coolest things that we can do, and I think that we're still the only marketplace that can do this. Let's say we had a Dutch seller. They're working with Bol in the Netherlands.
Bol.com.
They're working with, let's say, Google Shopping in the Netherlands, and they pretty much have decent market penetration, but they want to go cross-border. So with Fruugo, what they can do is use their Dutch feed, everything priced in euros. We can actually turn off the Dutch market so we don't compete against them, and just sell their products where they want to sell them. The retailer picks and chooses the different territories, and they basically dictate the base price to us and the shipping rates to us.
Okay, if I understand correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Fruugo is a cross-border accelerator.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we essentially help retailers go global without heavy investment in, let's say, building a team, hiring foreign language speakers, doing foreign entity registrations, or paying out third parties to get paid. So Fruugo takes care of all that stuff for you.
Okay, and what about the French market?
So we just recently did an integration with Lengow. That's why we're here at Lengow.
Yeah.
So we are a major partner of Lengow now, and we are basically looking to expand our French retailer base. Majority of sellers on Fruugo now are UK, US, and German based.
Okay.
But we really want to make moves into the French market.
And do you have main categories working more than others, or
Yeah, so Fruugo is an everything seller. So we work with pretty much all products outside of like alcohol, nicotine products, or sex toys. But the number one product right now is pets, pet-related products. It does extremely well cross-border. Number two would be sports fashion.
Okay.
So we work with some pretty heavy UK hitters in that space. And then men's, women's fashion, electronics. We work with some very large German electronic sellers who are known pretty much across the continent. And we really help them to accelerate global sales.
Okay, and the sellers are mainly retailers or also brands?
So it kind of varies. So it's mom and pop shops all the way to enterprise level sellers. And Fruugo has been traditionally, when we first started, we were looking to take everyone and really to take anyone who would sign up to the marketplace. However, as we've evolved, we started to become more strict in our retail selection, basically so that we can offer the best product to our consumers. So usually it's those that are working with channel partners like Lengow or like ChannelAdvisor, for example, that have order management APIs, integrated stock status, and the feed basically in real time. So we prevent overselling or any complications with the actual products being sold.
Okay, so for France, the French market, you expect more sellers.
Yeah, so we also in tandem with our Lengow integration, we did a PrestaShop integration as well too. So we will be launching that module here very, very soon in tandem with PrestaShop too. So it's we're really looking forward to what we can do into the French market.
And do you have French consumers on Fruugo platform? Or?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's not as big as, let's say, Scandinavia or our traditional English-speaking markets, but it's in it occasionally France will peek into our top 10.
Is that also a growth path for you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because not only with French sellers can you cover those markets, but you can also cover like Luxembourg, where we have a platform, Belgium, and basically we can expand our offering to other countries that speak French, like in Africa, for example, if we wanted to expand it to those territories. So it's a basis for us building a larger roadmap to making sales worldwide.
Thank you, Ted, for sharing all these points with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. Before I'm going to leave you a couple of questions. What do you think, or how do you feel about the couple e-commerce and ecological transition? What does it inspire you?
I think naturally it will lead to more consolidation. I think we'll start to see there's so many little marketplace players. I think that eventually the little fish will get eaten by the big fish and things will start to get more consolidated. And I mean, you see that already in China with the single players who are basically dominating the scene. So there's WeChat, which is kind of like the walled garden, and then like Alibaba, Taobao actually basically being the primary shopping platform and distribution platform for everything. And I think that we're starting to see that now with Google Shopping Actions, Google becoming a marketplace, Facebook becoming a marketplace. All these different non-traditional things you would think about with retail are becoming marketplaces.
Okay.
So I think it will be more consolidated, and unless it's, let's say, blocked by litigation from, say, the European Union or France, I think it will tend to go more towards that one major conglomerate entity.
Okay, thank you for your point of view.
That's my crystal ball.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Where can we follow you on LinkedIn, Twitter, or somewhere?
Yeah. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. I live in Germany, so I'm also on Zing. If you guys want to hit me up there, and any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly.
Okay, so thank you again, Ted, for sharing this testimonial with us. That was a real pleasure for me. Thank you again. Thank you to all of you who are listening the Digital Doers. You are more and more day after day, and that's really cool. Please, if you like this podcast, note it 5 stars, not 4, 5 stars on Apple Podcast, and share the link around you. This is important, and this is the best way for people to discover the Digital Doers. Thank you again, and if you want to leave comments or send me a message, please go on thedigitaldoers.com. Thank you, bye-bye.